The Children of the Night by Robert E. Howard. Narrated by Mark Bowen. There were, I remember, 6 of us in Conrad's bizarrely fashioned study, with its queer relics from all over the world and its long rows of books which ranged from the Mandrake Press edition of Boccaccio to a Missale Romanum, bound in clasped oak boards and printed in Venice, 1740. Clemence and Professor Kirawan had just engaged in a somewhat testy anthropological argument. Clemence upholding the theory of a separate, distinct Alpine race, while the professor maintained that this so-called race was merely a deviation from an original Aryan stock, possibly the result of an admixture between the southern or Mediterranean races and the Nordic people. And how, asked Clemence, do you account for their brachiocephalicism? The Mediterraneans were as long-headed as the Aryans. Would admixture between these dialocephalic peoples produce a broad-headed intermediate type? Special conditions might bring about a change in an originally long-headed race, snapped Kirawan. Boaz has demonstrated, for instance, that in the case of immigrants to America, skull formations often change in one generation. And Flinders Petrie has shown that the Lombards changed from a long-headed to a round-headed race in a few centuries. But what caused these changes? Much is yet unknown to science, answered Kirawan, and we need not be dogmatic. No one knows as yet why people of British and Irish ancestry tend to grow unusually tall in the Darling District of Australia, cornstalks as they are called, or why people of such descent generally have thinner jaw structures after a few generations in New England. The universe is full of the unexplainable, and therefore the uninteresting, according to Machen, laughed Teverell. Conrad shook his head. I must disagree. To me, the unknowable is most tantalizingly fascinating. Which accounts, no doubt, for all the works on witchcraft and demonology I see on your shelves, said Kettrick, with a wave of his hand toward the rows of books. And let me speak of Kettrick. Each of the 6 of us was of the same breed, that is to say, a Briton or an American of British descent. By British I include all natural inhabitants of the British Isles. We represented various strains of English and Celtic blood, but basically these strains are...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?